The kingdom of Hastinapur faced a crisis. The once thriving realm, known for its prosperity and strength, was now on the brink of chaos. Its valiant king, Vichitravirya, was dead. His sudden demise left the kingdom in a state of mourning and uncertainty. He left behind two widowed queens, Ambika and Ambalika, but no heir. The royal palace, once filled with laughter and joy, now echoed with the sounds of grief and despair. The throne of Hastinapur stood empty, a symbol of impending chaos. The empty throne was not just a seat of power, it was the heart of the kingdom, now lifeless and cold. Without a king, the kingdom was vulnerable to internal strife and external threats. The guards, once confident and proud, now looked anxious, aware of the looming dangers. The very future of the Kuru Dynasty, a lineage steeped in tradition and power, hung precariously in the balance. The dynasty, known for its valor and wisdom, now faced an uncertain future. The elders of the court were thrown into turmoil. Their faces, etched with worry, reflected the gravity of the situation. The kingdom needed an heir, a king to rule and guide them. The discussions in the royal court were intense, as the need for a solution became more urgent with each passing day. The weight of the situation fell upon the frail shoulders of Satyavati, the queen mother. Her concern was evident, as she pondered the future of her beloved kingdom. A wise and pragmatic woman, Satyavati knew that the kingdom's survival depended on securing the lineage. Her determination was unwavering, as she prepared to make a crucial decision. But how could she ensure the continuation of the Kuru dynasty without a king to father an heir? The question weighed heavily on her mind, as she sought a solution that would save her people. Time was of the essence, and the fate of Hastinapur rested on her next decision. The urgency of the situation was palpable as the Queen Mother and her advisors worked tirelessly to find a way forward. As dawn broke over the ancient kingdom, a glimmer of hope began to emerge. The people of Hastinapur looked to their Queen Mother, trusting in her wisdom and strength to lead them through the darkness. Satyavati, with the support of her loyal advisors, was ready to take bold steps to secure the future of the Kuru dynasty. Her resolve was clear, and her actions would shape the destiny of Hastinapur for generations to come. Satyavati, the daughter of a humble fisherman, carried a secret from her past that weighed heavily on her heart. In her youth, she had encountered the revered sage Parashara, a meeting that would change the course of her life forever. The sage, overcome by a divine desire, had granted her a boon, the gift of an irresistible fragrance that would make her presence unforgettable, and the blessing of a son who would be destined for greatness. This son, born out of wedlock, was none other than the enigmatic sage Vyasa, known for his unparalleled wisdom and spiritual prowess, a figure who would later pen the epic Mahabharata. Satyavati, now a queen bound by her duty to the Kuru dynasty, found herself at a crossroads. She had to make a difficult choice that would determine the future of the kingdom. She could either watch the kingdom crumble under the weight of its own internal strife, or call upon her firstborn, Vyasa, to secure the lineage and restore order. It was a decision fraught with social stigma and the potential for scandal. The society of the time was unforgiving, and the queen knew that her actions would be scrutinized by all. Vyasa, though a sage of great repute, was born outside of wedlock, a fact that could not be easily overlooked in a society bound by rigid norms and traditions. His involvement in the royal affairs would undoubtedly raise eyebrows, provoke whispers, and challenge the societal norms of the time. Yet Satyavati knew that sometimes, the path to righteousness is fraught with obstacles and requires immense courage. With a heavy heart but a resolute mind, she made her decision, one that would echo through the annals of history and shape the destiny of the Kuru dynasty. Driven by her sense of duty, Satyavati swallowed her pride and sought out Vyasa. She explained the dire situation in Hastinapur, the vacant throne, and the kingdom teetering on the brink of chaos. She pleaded with him to help continue the Kuru lineage, to provide the kingdom with an heir. Vyasa, ever the dutiful son, understood the gravity of the situation. He agreed to his mother's request, promising to father a son for the deceased king. However, he warned Satyavati that the process would be unconventional, dictated by his ascetic nature and spiritual power. Satyavati, desperate to save the kingdom, accepted his terms, unaware of the path that lay ahead. Vyasa proposed the ancient practice of a tradition where a woman could bear a child from a man other than her husband to ensure the continuation of the family line. This practice, though accepted in ancient times, was shrouded in secrecy and often viewed with suspicion. However, in the absence of a king, seemed like the only solution to Hastinapur's predicament. Satyavati, with a heavy heart, approached her daughters-in-law, Ambika and Ambalika, and explained the situation. She told them about Vyasa and the practice of. The young widows, bound by duty and tradition, reluctantly agreed to participate in this ancient ritual to save their late husband's lineage. The process of was far from simple. Ambika, overwhelmed by Vyasa's austere appearance and intense aura, closed her eyes in fear. As a result, her son, Dhritarashtra, was born blind. Ambalika, terrified by her sister's experience, turned pale upon seeing Vyasa. Her son, Pandu, was born pale and sickly. Satyavati, distraught by the outcome, pleaded with Vyasa to try once more to ensure a healthy heir for the throne. Vyasa agreed, but this time, he instructed a maidservant to take Ambika's place. The maidservant, unlike the princesses, faced Vyasa with composure and bore a healthy son, Vidura. The birth of Dhritarashtra, Pandu and Vidura secured the future of the Kuru Dynasty. However, the circumstances surrounding their birth, particularly Vidura's status as the son of a maidservant, created a complex web of relationships within the royal family. Vidura, though born from, was not considered a true heir to the throne due to his mother's social standing. Despite this, Vidura possessed great wisdom and a strong moral compass. He grew up to be a trusted advisor to his brothers, his counsel sought after by both Dhritarashtra and Pandu. His illegitimate birth, however, cast a long shadow over his life, a constant reminder of the unconventional beginnings of this generation of Kuru princes. With the birth of the three princes, the immediate crisis in Hastinapur was averted. The lineage was secured, and the kingdom had heirs to the throne. Dhritarashtra, the eldest, was the rightful heir, but his blindness rendered him unfit to rule. Pandu, the younger brother, ascended the throne, marrying Kunti and Madri, and bringing a semblance of stability to the kingdom. The kingdom rejoiced at the birth of heirs and the continuation of their beloved dynasty. The threat of anarchy had been quelled, and the future seemed promising. Little did they know that the seeds of a far greater conflict, a conflict that would engulf the entire kingdom and shake the very foundations of their world, had already been sown. The unconventional births of the Kuru princes, shrouded in secrecy and social stigma, created an undercurrent of tension within the royal family. Dhritarashtra, though blind, harbored resentment for being denied the throne. His ambition, fueled by his wife Gandhari's unwavering loyalty, festered in the shadows. Pandu's reign, though initially prosperous, was cut short by a curse, forcing him into exile. His sons, the Pandavas, were raised in the forest, unaware of their royal heritage. The seeds of rivalry between the Kauravas, Dhritarashtra's sons, and the Pandavas, Pandu's sons, were sown, waiting for the right moment to erupt. The stage was set for the epic saga of the Mahabharata, an ancient Indian epic that has been passed down through generations, capturing the imagination of millions. The rivalry between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, fueled by ambition, jealousy, and the thirst for power, escalated into a full-blown war. This conflict was not just a simple family feud but a monumental clash that involved intricate politics, deep-seated grudges, and the intervention of divine forces. The very fabric of society was torn apart as brothers fought against brothers, cousins against cousins, in a battle that would determine the fate of Hastinapur and the future of the Kuru Dynasty. The battlefield of Kurukshetra became a symbol of the ultimate struggle between good and evil, where moral dilemmas and ethical questions were as fierce as the physical combat. The story of Vyasa and the seeds of the dynasty serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of human nature, the consequences of desire and ambition, and the enduring power of fate. Vyasa, the sage who composed this epic, wove a narrative that delves deep into the human psyche, exploring themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the eternal quest for righteousness. It is a tale that has captivated generations, its themes of duty, dharma, and the battle between good and evil resonating even in the modern world. The Mahabharata is not just a story, it is a timeless reflection on the human condition, offering lessons that are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. Its characters, with their strengths and flaws, continue to inspire and teach us about the complexities of life and the importance of upholding one's principles.